everybody, Kalma here with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about 10 Lolita truths. So these are things that I found while I was researching on the internet that I came across that actually are fairly true. Like, they're not like concrete and you have to do them or anything like that, but they are some pretty good rules that I think really should be applied, or at least most of the time. So here's my list of 10 Lolita truths. Number 1, spend the money to get a good petticoat. Trust me, this is so true. I know petticoats are expensive, but just save up the money and spend the 50, 60, 70 bucks to get a good petticoat. I started out with 2 Leg Avenue petticoats and they lasted like half a year. They're deflated now. They just look awful. They feel awful. They're super uncomfortable. They cut off the circulation of my waist. Like, they're just really not comfortable to wear for long periods of time. A couple months afterwards, I decided to spend the money and get a Classical Puppets petticoat, and it has been a godsend. I've had it for almost a year now, maybe half a year as well. Hasn't lost any poof. It's super comfortable. It doesn't cut off the circulation. I can wear it all day and be like totally fine, and it doesn't cause any sort of problems. So please, spend the money to buy a good petticoat. It's so worth it in the end. Number 2, do not buy from Milano or Milano, however you pronounce it. I have never actually bought from it myself, but I've seen so many people trying to save money by buying from them, and it's just not worth it. You're just not going to get what's in the picture. Even if you do find positive reviews from them, there's way more negative views than there are positive reviews. Number 3, buy secondhand. A good majority of my dresses are actually secondhand dresses. I think 3, maybe 4 of them are brand new, and that's big brand. I think I only have this one, Horror Garden, and Lucine Dream are the only straight from brand stores or dresses that I actually own. All the other dresses I have are either secondhand or indie or Taobao or something, but buy secondhand. It saves you so much money. It's just so worth it to just buy secondhand stuff. I know some people bash on it because it's secondhand and you're not the first owner, but like, who cares? It's a dress. Who cares? Number 4, do as much research as you can. You'll see a lot of elder Lolitas saying to research, research, research. And let me tell you, please actually spend the time and research. Before I bought anything, I researched 2 months straight, kind of obsessively, about Lolita because I wanted to know what I was doing and I wanted to try my best to look good just right off the bat, which I ended up not looking very good, but details. Do the research, spend some time researching, ask the Lolita tips, for example. Great person to ask if you have any questions. Ask her if you have questions, ask other Lolitas, anybody really. Most people will be willing to answer your questions as long as they're not like super obvious questions. Like, I can't think of any right now, but there are some questions that are just like really obvious, and if you just researched or if you just searched Lolita fashion, you would find answers for that. Like, don't ask super obvious stuff, but feel free to ask questions. If you have any questions, I'll answer them as quickly as I can. Just do the research. Trust me, it's so worth it to just get it done. Number 5, buy the correct petticoat. By correct petticoat, I mean either bell-shaped slash cupcake shaped, or A-line. Now this is really important because a good majority of dresses nowadays are bell, but I actually started out with an A-line dress and I got the 2 Leg Avenue petticoats, which are kind of A-line. They're kind of a weird mix, and they worked for that dress. It was just fine, but as soon as I started getting bell-shaped stuff, those Leg Avenue petticoats just did not look right. Like, Lucine Dream with those Leg Avenue petticoats did not look good, which is part of the reason I got the Classical Puppets petticoat, was because it's bell-shaped and it actually looks right. So trust me, totally worth it. Honestly, your best bet is probably, unless you're doing something other than just straight up sweet, I would probably buy one of each kind of petticoat. I haven't gotten around to it, but I definitely suggest buying one A-line and 1 bell petticoat. Number 6, start with JSKs. Now, the reason I say this is because OPs, really great, super easy to wear, not very versatile, and skirts a little too versatile and a little hard to cord right off the bat. JSKs are like the perfect in-between, where it's like it's really easy to cord and really easy to just pair with something, but it's also, you can customize it, you can like do so many things with JSK to make it like a different outfit each time you wear it. Like for example, what I'm wearing now. This looks totally different than what I wore, than the cord I made the first time I wore this dress. It's totally different, and JSKs are honestly the best thing for a beginner to start with because you can just do so much more with them. Number 7, wear a blouse or cover your shoulders. There are 2 reasons I say this. 1, sunburn. Shoulders tend to get sunburned first, so having something on your shoulders is just really helpful for that reason, whether it's a blouse or like a shawl or just something to cover your shoulders. And 2, in my opinion, Lolita doesn't look very good without something covering your shoulders, or it's very hard to make something look good without covering your shoulders. Like there are dresses that have like collars here or something, or straps, and then they have like off the shoulder kind of OP sort of things. Those are okay, those look pretty good because they're off the shoulder, but otherwise you want to cover your shoulders. It just, in my opinion, doesn't look very good. There's plenty of people who would probably say that it looks totally fine, and I mean, it's up to you what you want to do, but I believe that covering your shoulders is pretty important, not just because the way it looks, but also just because of sunburn. It's really hard to keep your shoulders from not getting sunburned. Number 8, accessories really do matter. I learned fairly early on, fairly quickly, that if you have a really nice cord but there's no accessories, it just looks really plain and it looks like you're missing something. At first I had very minimal accessories and just like didn't really have a whole lot on. Like I put on like a necklace and maybe a headpiece, and it just looked really bad. So I recommend having at least like some sort of headpiece, some sort of like something to put on your wrists if you're wearing a short sleeve blouse, just something to kind of tie everything together. Like you don't have to go OTT with it or anything like that, but just something to sort of bring the whole outfit together and make it look less plain. Number 9, ignore CGL and behind the bows if you can't handle it. I've gone on myself, never seen myself posted, and I find it kind of funny, but at the same time, if you're someone who can't take criticism very well, which I know most of the time it's not very nice criticism, but I'm going to call it criticism. If you're someone who can't take criticism very well, I would definitely recommend staying away from it, because I have a friend, I'm not going to say who is a bit sensitive, and she saw herself one time on Behind the Bows, I think it was, I don't remember, and she just had like a total breakdown. She considered quitting the fashion, so do not look at CGL or Behind the Bows if you don't think you can handle it, because not very fun. And number 10, style your hair. Now, my hair technically isn't styled right now. I personally, I did have to style my bangs. I have to style my bangs every time because my bangs are just like all over the place. But style your hair, just like, don't just wake up in the morning and do nothing to your hair. Like at least brush it out, you know, put something in it, just kind of tame your hair, make it look kind of nice, like just kind of nice. Like you don't have to go crazy and like put it up and like hairspray and all that stuff. Just, I guess I'm trying to say, don't go to a meetup or wear Lolita with a bed head unless you're doing like, what's that one? I can't remember the name, but that version of Lolita where you're like bloody and trying to look like a mess anyway. So unless you're doing that, try to do something with your hair just so it doesn't look like a rat's nest or something, I suppose. Just at least brush your hair. You know, just something simple, just nice, so it doesn't look so ratty. I'm trying to say this like nicely, but it's really hard to say that nicely. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you got some help from this, and I hope you agree with most of my points. If not, you know, whatever, to each their own. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you learned something. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I've got plenty more on my channel, so go check them out. Let me know how I'm doing, and leave some comments if you have any questions. Hope to see you guys in the next video, and bye!